So this is the story on how I bought my fiance her dream fish, which by the way, Tamara's my fiance now. She said yes. Not important. Little backstory. Every time we go to Living Reef, Tamara just has to play with this longhorn cowfish in their display tank. She was in love with it, but there's no way I was buying it. Mostly because it wasn't for sale, but more importantly, it wasn't in my plans. It would mean I'd have to set up another tank for it. Plus, it reminds me of cheese. Anyways, I head to the store on a mission to set up a planted saltwater shrimp tank, and I know, it ends up being absolutely phenomenal.
What's that?
The first thing Tamara sees when we get in there is a longhorn cowfish. Worst part was, this one was for sale. Great, now I gotta buy it. What made it even more worse was how happy and excited she was for it. As if a ring wasn't enough. It's not funny, the ring was enough. So I get some more supplies and hang out for a bit at the store, just talking shop.
I wonder if they have any starfish. It says they got one right here. Do you want one? I say we get some more shrimp, starfish and other critters, and we get that little box face fish. Or the box fish. Do you want it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but you ever pick one of these up and drop them?
No.
Watch what they do.
Where are you gonna drop them?
Just right here.
Looks like an octopus.
So basically, when you drop these, if they ever ended up in an open water column for whatever reason, they want to get to the bottom as fast as possible because they can be eaten. So when I drop it, it's going to take its legs and put them up like this, so it falls like a rock.
Okay.
Right, so watch from the side here. Hopefully this works. This might make a liar out of me.
Liar. Oh, he's doing it.
There's a brittle.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So they do that so they can get to the bottom really quickly and
As
then
best they can.
immediately get back under a rock.
Oh, look at him. There he is.
Yeah.
Tough guy.
Or, like I said, he might walk around and act like he's trying to fight everything,
Yeah.
but they generally don't.
He just walks around as a tough guy. Now, could I have more? Oh, is that a peppermint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a peppermint.
Why do they call those one sexy shrimp? I know why, but it's funny.
Because they walk.
They walk around
Why do you always
sexy.
do this? Yeah, they walk around all sexy like.
Yeah, I told her that, and I don't think she believed me.
No, it's true.
And she really wanted one, but then I was like, oh, they're so small, and you know they might not do well with the others. What do you think?
I think they're pretty sexy.
I'm gonna try to stay in the genius of Lamoda, I believe it's pronounced. I think it's pronounced Lamoda or something like that. If you have any of the scientific names up here, maybe it says it now. And that'd be the cleaner shrimp. It would be the red. Well, I think I'm gonna take some shrimp. What else? Let me make a decision here. I definitely think I should have some sexy shrimp. Do you think so, Tamara? And they're pretty affordable, so I mean, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
And no matter what, don't judge me.
Yeah. I'm thinking about making a couple of caves around the tower. Yeah. Maybe go something like this. I think something like that. I just get those 3 pieces. I don't want it to be too high. It's going in the tower tank. What's this?
One of these.
Let me get a box of those. That's not that big. It's average.
It's not
That's not big.
Like it looks just like that.
Yeah, I'll get these 3 rocks. Sorry, I'm taking your best shit.
all good. That's why I told you about cracking the new box.
Yeah. It turns out these are $40 a pound.
Then I head home. I glued some algae to the rocks and I got them in the tank. Added the shrimp and then the longhorn cowfish after his quarantine period. He was curious of the shrimp for a few minutes, then left them completely alone, and the shrimp basically started cleaning him like they do. Now that was about 2 months ago. Which brings us to today. Now first and foremost, the tower that used to be there, that we literally built specifically for this tank, was pointless. I took it out. Nobody used it. It was more of an eyesore. I kind of like it to be more symmetrical with the seahorses, as well as my shrimp slash longhorn cowfish tank. Now before we get too crazy, the longhorn cowfish is gonna outgrow this tank. They do get relatively big, growing to over a foot in length, but they are absolutely adorable. So with that said, we're definitely going to need a new tank. However, he will do fine with shrimp. and a tank like this. Isn't this tank just so much fun? It's one of the most interactive aquariums I've ever touched, but more on that in a minute. Now, believe it or not, just looking at it as is, you wouldn't guess. But there's 20 shrimp in there. And the downside to saltwater shrimp is they're not cheap. But what's in here? We've got 2 blood shrimp. We've got 14 cleaner shrimp, and we have 6 peppermint shrimp. And if my GED education serves me as it should, that means there's 20 shrimp in here total. And I don't want to brag, but some of them are breeding. I'm basically a saltwater shrimp breeder now. But like I was saying, this tank is incredibly fun to have. It looks super boring. There's just one tiny little speck of a fish swimming in there. Name reveal later on in the video. But watch this. These are cleaner shrimp. They are used to, I'm not going to feed them. I'm just going to show you. If I put my hand in here, they will attempt to clean me, or at least interact with me to a certain extent. Now, I don't think all shrimp are boring and whatnot, but there's no freshwater shrimp on the planet that will consciously come up and play with you and come into your hands that are so easy to take care of. They're hungry. And they're just so interactive and interesting to watch. Look at all their feelers. You can feel those. Their legs feel so ticklishly. But they'll eat out of your hands. They're just absolutely incredible. And one of my favorite aquariums of all time, and if I have to admit it, was a cherry shrimp tank. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Ah, don't touch me though. It's such an enjoyable and rewarding aquarium, and if I taught you one thing, it's how to grow algae. You guys could do this. A few rocks, you know, put some algae on it. I'm literally using a light bulb to light this tank just as much as I am with the seahorse tank, and that tank has really taken off, although I am upgrading them to some aqua illumination that I've had for a few years. I just haven't really been using them, and that will really make these guys truly take off. What are you doing, bro? You want some of my hand? You want some of this? Now, the longhorn cowfish is definitely more of a classified as an expert fish. They are pretty delicate. They're not incredibly simple and easy to feed. Look at everybody out. Oh, are you a girl? You are a girl. It was holding eggs a little bit while ago, so that's a peppermint. That's a cleaner. And the reds will come out, and they are absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. Deep red with little white spots. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shrimp. I forgot how amazing a shrimp tank could be, and how easy and simplistic it can be. I mean, these guys are in a regular salinity, in a regular tank. Nothing fancy's being run. And definitely a fantastic introduction to the saltwater hobby, especially if you're already a shrimp keeper. You gotta have some saltwater shrimp. What's wrong with having a saltwater shrimp tank? You don't see them very often, or at least I've never really heard of them. But we do it in the freshwater hobby, just never in we do it in the freshwater hobby, just never in salt, or at least I never see it. Just awesome, awesome tank. Expensive, but awesome. The only thing that I would caution you guys about is, you know, be a little cautious about mixing species and how many you put in a shrimp tank. A lot of the times, more than 2 shrimp just don't work out. They'll fight and they'll go to war. But like I said, I've got 20 in here, and they've been in here for, what, 2-3 months now? And, I mean, I still got them all. Everybody's in perfect condition. Absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I need more, though. I need more. I want to start a shrimp empire. They're not all that easy to breed in the home aquarium, but they breed the same way as the freshwater shrimp does. So many of you guys are going to already be familiar with this. The one that I'm trying to focus on right here is just packed full of eggs underneath of her right now. She's holding on to them right now. That's a peppermint. Look at how many eggs that she's got. Come on over here and show us. Come on over, mama. Come on. And they recognize human language. See the eggs? Oh man, you chunky monkey. Anyways, I need to know your thoughts on this aquarium. I'm a little self-conscious about it. You know, me having a shrimp tank, 2,000 gallons just right there and all these big fish. And then I got this little rinky-dinky shrimp tank. I'm in love with it. It's taken me months to show you and admit to it. So let me know what you think about it. Let me put a t-shirt on and let me show you. Remember when we said we got the longhorn cowfish, and remember how I said that it's going to need a bigger aquarium, or at least it's going to need a new aquarium? I don't know how long it's going to last with these shrimp, etc. Ooh, look who's out. One of the reds came out. They're more of a hider. All of these shrimp are unique. Just incredible. But anyways, longhorn cowfish needs its own tank. It's Tamara's fish. This is my tank. It needs its own tank. I didn't just buy the fish. I had to get another aquarium. So let's go check that out. I also see George Farmer on Instagram all the time with his shirt off doing his thirst pics. Thirst videos. You better stop before I start. I would never do that. Is that your aquarium? So this was more of a last minute thing, just like it was with the longhorn cowfish. Wasn't really planning, but grabbed a tank that fits a specific space in the house. But most importantly, it's going to keep my cats out of here. Because if you guys don't know, I've got a pair of Savannah cats. This is my female Mariah, who hates the camera. She just doesn't like my loud voice. She prefers kisses and soft voices. But they're mischievous. Oh, there's the boy. So not only does this aquarium keep the cats out of the tank itself, because like I said, it's got a full top, having this aquarium in the house keeps Tamara out of the gallery. I think she's on a mission to slowly take the aquarium gallery over by adding fish out there. All of a sudden, the seahorses are her, the shrimp tank, the longhorn cowfish, they're all hers, and I've got to put a stop to it. So I've got this set up right now, and I've got it with some cycled media in the back. It's up to temperature. The salinity's great. I could technically move the longhorn cowfish into it immediately. I've also added some Fritz Turbo Start to it, which means that I can add the longhorn cowfish into it immediately, which we're going to likely do in one of the next videos. But the scape is simple. It's just some basic skeleton coral, essentially, like base rock, I guess is what you would call it. I kind of piled it up so it slopes down this way and slopes that way. You guys know I love to do scapes coming from the corners. I'm just absolutely... I didn't mean for it to kind of like shape this sort of thing, but I also went with the everything white because I thought the yellow cowfish would contrast with it really well. But this is his aquarium. Well, it's the cowfish's aquarium, which is Tamara's aquarium, so I guess that's that. Oh, and that shrimp tank, Joey, wasn't that an octopus aquarium? What happened to the octopus? Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Besides, it attempted to literally ruin my life. But let me explain. You guys will remember we had an Atlantic white spot octopus, a true nocturnal species that I personally thought that I could cope with and keep, and it would do just fine in here. But being a truly nocturnal species, it was certainly a challenge. Not only does it literally never appear on camera unless I'm out here at 4 o'clock in the morning filming it and trying to capture footage for you guys to kind of learn about them, and I fully warned you, and I got it to start eating in the mornings at like 7 o'clock and then 8 o'clock in the morning, and then it would stop, and it was always resetting itself to like only eating at 3 or 4 in the morning until I just gave up and I was like, okay, setting my alarm. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be out here feeding the octopus. So a lot of times I couldn't get back to sleep. Doesn't matter, kids gotta go to school, gotta get up at 7, gotta live my life. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So there is no more octopus. I'm never getting another one. I do not recommend them. I was incredibly excited to see one in person, to hand feeding it, and my time with it was incredibly special, but I certainly don't recommend getting one, and you won't see me doing it again. Learnt my lesson. He's totally fine. He's with a lunatic that is loving that lifestyle, but me as a father, I just can't do it. Anyways, that is the story of getting my fiance, almost said girlfriend, I'm not be saying that anymore, her dream fish, as well as setting up a planted saltwater shrimp tank that I personally believe is absolutely phenomenal. But again, I can't wait to see what you guys think and say. But there's a few of you that's waiting around, waiting for the longhorn cowfish's name. His name is Tony. Tony Tips. Fades off into oblivion. Oh, he also has an Italian accent.
Hey, is it recording? It looks good. Alright, I'm ready.